So now we'll look at the metals. Overall, they're really very weak patterns that we see in here. I'll show you that the silver is the best and the most viable. Platinum is by far the worst and has a breakdown, and gold kind of sits somewhere in the middle there. Copper strengthened and now is in an area where it's looking like it's rolling over. So let's take a look here at gold /GC. Really in here in this kind of resistance area, sideways choppy pattern, gets up into these resistance confluences. Let me just blow that up so it's a little clearer for you. Again, if you've missed the analysis in here, the flash crash really makes it difficult to find the proper levels to put these support resistances in. We use the 2-hour chart to help us sort out which of this was fake and which of this was real, and that gave us the ability to come up with a couple of confluences in here of resistance. And you can see the very top one over here is the one that really made a difference. Momentum conditions in here are still strong. You can see that it turned up right over here, telling us this minor cycle low was accurate. And then we're in this area where you could get some chop. Now, again, this area out over here, and when we get past that time frame where I think the dollar has downside risk and will begin to move up, that takes you into a period of risk in here for the gold market. The probability of moving up in any strong way versus moving down in a strong way is, in my opinion, about 3-to-1 against the strong upside move versus the potential for a strong downside move. In the meantime, you're in this area for the next several weeks of just some potential chop in there. And here you can see us as we have that. This pattern in here is set up positively. Momentum chopping between negative and neutral, as you can see. And see the slim ribbon right over here. When you see the slim ribbon go flat, I mean basically say there is no momentum. Nothing can be established in here in either direction. This right over here, this reversal pattern and what is kind of a flag pattern setting up right in here really suggests that it will come back down in here. I would target 1770 to down over here about 1755 before it then tries the upside again in this area and then gets into trouble past the end of October. So this is shows you a declining risky phase out into December. And you can just trade it back and forth until I think that downside begins to hit. That kind of opens up a window in here for the silver market during this choppy period where it could make some upside. And, the cyclical low that occurred right in here, here's your gold minor lows right there, here's your silver low right there. You know, there was some synchronicity there. You got a reversal here which says that the downward momentum, as you can see, still in place, and it establishes these areas as tough spots, the 24.75, 25.35. We think 25.35 is reasonable to get up over here, but then again you get into this period out into December. We have this as continuing this major flag that you see in here. For a bigger picture analysis just shows you the giant flag or pennant going on in there that ultimately, assuming it does not break below these important supports, then that would be the time if it breaks under here, here's your support zone right in there. I haven't had that in there. Then the pennant will change shape, break down. In the meantime, as long as it's holding in there above these 22s, ultimately, if you get past December, then there's a possibility for a large upside spike the beginning of next year. So you can see in here I'm much more favorable to silver than I am to anything else when I look at this. And I've been buying some physical silver, so and I'm going to continue to do that. The next thing we'll look at is the platinum market, and this in sharp contrast is very sick. So there's fundamental reasons for this, and then that probably explains the technicals. Now, this low, the fact that we got over here about 5 or 6 weeks to the right of the ideal, the probabilities of of the left-hand translation are very high. Now, I want to make one point here for those of you that are watching Platinum very closely. There is a potential that the right-hand translation, which I labeled right over here, actually began right over here. And that would make these cycles shorter. This cycle actually was shorter, as you can see that. That if that's the case, it just moves it moves the ultimate time frame for the low closer in, but it's still an extremely negative condition. Whether this is this is the end of the rising phase and it's coming down, that will have broken this low, or this is the end of the rising phase here and it broke down. Either of those is extremely negative. The fundamental reason for this is that the chip shortage has slowed down auto production, which has really lowered demand for platinum. This is not my own. I really read this from analysts out there, and some have pointed to the fact that short interest is really going up. So the shorts are all over this, and it might mean that there is some upside action in here, but overall it's really bad. The chip shortage is not going to go away yet, and that could last. I read well into the next year. And that's not going to be great for platinum. So the momentum in here you can see is negative. The translation, whether it's this peak or this peak, is negative. The low potentially of this whole structure way out over here, this would be the latest one, would be out in April. If I used a shorter cycle, let me just do that so you can see what I'd be pointing at. It would be kind of a low right over here and the low right over here. That would then point to the low out around March 1st. Let me just put this as a potential back-shifted cycle. So you can see we don't really know which of those is really going to be the low or which was the low, but it projects out March, April of next year. It's really a very bad pattern. The only thing that would establish this or improve this would be a move above this level right over here, above that about 1145 number. Well, it's $200 on the upside. It's going to take some very significant change fundamentally that I don't see in here. So when you look at this right over here, you can see the very interesting that head and shoulders top that was in there made that peak, and then it made that downside measurement. And now you can see what it got established as this cycle broke below the 78.6 and threatened that low, and then this almost unreadable left-hand translation, the momentum turned negative, all of these signals negative in there, went neutral on some of these rally phases and then negative again, and following this directional downward component that you see right there, all of that really bad. This is money flow that you're seeing affecting the ideal cycle rhythms. So look, you can see as it made the head and shoulders top, and then lower low, and lower low right over there. That gives you right now a potential bottom of this cycle in the next couple of days. That means a rally, and a rally maybe up into this, well, we'll just look at 965 to 990. That you can see is a sell zone as we've listed it in here. So if you got that upward bounce, it's based on this weekly configuration, it's really likely that a sell would be the right action. Where you see that, whether you were long and needed to get out, or if you're a short-term trader and wanted to make that play in there. So the cycle configurations give you fantastic information. You actually had a little double top right in there. So let me just open this up because I want to really give you a sense for what could possibly change it in here. So let me get this line right there. So if these cycles were to get above that level right there, so this is would be the first warning. That's 1027. If all of a sudden you got a spike up and it did that, then you know these cycles are configuring on the positive side, and that would tell you the directional component was changing. And so that would be an important message if it was able to get above those peaks right over there. It's a long way to get up to there. It's $100, and that would still be running into the problems right over here on the weekly chart. So this is really horribly ugly when you look at that. And in my mind, the highest probability is to short it. Nobody wants to short it when it's at the bottom like this. Well, that's why you wait for the favorable entry levels that we show you. Copper, you can see, really improved. The second low over there was confirmed by the daily cycle on the principle of synchronicity, and then began to move up. Now it's come up into resistance and is flattening out a little bit, but still not giving a lot of ground. Momentum in here flat to slightly positive. And then the next couple of weeks could be sideways in here, or maybe a little up, but then you get into this risky period that I think will come down. And now, while I looked for it potentially really cracking down over here because of the head and shoulders top, the odds of that are less. It may be that this is just a huge pennant in here being formed. You come down, test the lows over here, and then this is a much more positive period there. So that would be in alignment with some good upside with silver out in coming months. So right now we'll be looking for short side trades based on what I see in here, but the prospects are not as bad. And you can see the formation in here as you got this very early low that we're looking in there. The cycle shifted over, and then you made the bottom, and then it began to move up again. But this thick resistance in there, lots and lots of resistance, says to me that it's not likely to make much upside at here. And then this cycle over here, you can see the low date right there. That is 1027. These cycles here are nesting right in there at 1031. So the last week in October, that puts October as a risky month with all of the cycles likely lining up on the downside. And again, that says, speaks to the short side trade that I'm talking about in the copper market. So that's a look at the metals, and I think great stuff. This is our level 4 special trial. This is for first-time subscribers and upgrades. What level 4 gets, and this is really an advanced level, is our annotated charts. That's our entire focused list live on your Thinkorswim platform. If you are not a Thinkorswim member, you can go to our site and you can open an account there, and then that would be great because we get credit for that. So Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade is our preferred broker, and we'd love you to open up an account there to get our annotated charts. This is all of our analysis. On top of that, you get our proprietary studies, our option bias indicator, the market condition indicator, and you're going to get the grids that we have with 4 different time frames with our indicators on there. It's just incredible. You will also get the archive with all of our grids, with our trade ideas that include the slim ribbon PO, the reversal scout. Nobody else has these. These are our proprietary indicators that keep you on the right side of the market and give you an understanding of the market that it's really hard to get with any other combination of studies. You will love this. You'll get our free live events, webinars, trade planning services, best practices for utilizing AskSlim custom charts and studies. And you'll get our full membership access to everything in level 3, 2, and 1. There is too much for me to tell you about there. You can go to the website and see everything that is included. This is a special 3-month trial. Level 4, 35% off for quarterly. That are normally we're at $159 a month, but you can have it for $101.25 a month for signing up for 3 months for level 4. All of these live charts, absolutely great. And there is one more thing that's really important. Our level 4 plus is a little bit different. This is, again, for first-time subs and upgrades, and we only have 10 spots available. Last time we did this, you have to get on a waiting list, and we had a huge waiting list, and we filled up in a couple of days. So we now have gotten better at it. We have these spots that have opened up, and we are going to take 10 more people. So what you get are custom chart requests. Everything that we showed you in level 4, you get, but you'll be able to ask us for our cycle analysis on any 2 symbols per week of your choice. You'll get the SLIM daily and weekly charts to open up on your Thinkorswim platform, and you'll be able to see these specific symbols that you have interested in that we have provided to you, that has our cycle analysis, timing, key levels, projections, all of that. And you get access to the full archive of all the requests of all of the level 4 plus members. So we get tons of those every day, and we post them and we share that analysis. It is one of the greatest resources of analysis that you will ever see. There's like 5 or 10 new ones up there a day. It's just crazy how much information this is. And you get our exclusive trader support from the SLIM analytical team. That's Matt, Harvey, and I. We have, I have 47 years of experience in this. These other 2 guys are incredibly skilled. You can ask general questions around trading issues, trade planning, and chart analysis. And you get the full access to everything in level 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is normally $239 a month because you're getting our one-on-one help, and that's why we have to limit it to the number of people that we take, and we only have these 10 spots available now. So that the special price on that now is $465. That's only $155 a month. Imagine paying an analyst, somebody who you had that type of access to. With our experience, you could never get it for this price. So it's you can only use this special one time. $465 for 3 months, $155 a month is what that comes out to. You must reserve your spot, because it's going to be first come, first serve, and I'm telling you it's going to fill up quickly. So write to matt@askslim.com. If you're not a TOS user, you don't have a TDA Ameritrade account, then please do open one up through our site. Just a little example right over here. This is what a custom chart looks like. Somebody requested that, so this just recently got posted up on our site for the level 4 plus members. This is on target. You get the weekly analysis, and you can see the dominant cycle, the minor cycles, the important support areas. We talk about the configuration of the cycles, projections, the momentum indicator that's in there, and you can see in here in target, this is pointing to a correction coming in the next month. But this is a bullish pattern and then likely moving up again. Here you could see on the minor cycle on the daily, momentum has turned negative. The slim ribbon PO giving negative signals. So negative momentum here, likely decline over here in target. And this point shows you where the next date is, where there's an alignment between the daily chart and the weekly chart, nested area right over there. This goes out here another 3-4 weeks, and that will likely be a point where you could start looking at the support zone and where to buy it. This is a just unbelievably great way for you to get a feel for stocks that you probably will have never had before, and ETFs and futures. We do it all. We look at 24 plus different futures contracts and market indexes, plus well over 400 stocks. Plus we'll bring in anyone that you ask us for that we can do this kind of analysis. So this is that great example of that. Please do go to askslim.com, get yourself on this waiting list, reserve your spot for this level 4 or level 4 plus, or you could just sign up for level 4 right now. And you won't have the one-on-one custom support from the team, but you'll get everything else also. And again, there's great charts that you see right over there.